Work, sleep, and pay bills, repeat. That's not a life. That's a sentence. They told you if you worked hard that you'd make it, but in reality, all you made was just enough to survive. You wake up tired and you go to sleep anxious, and every day off of work, you just spend it recovering from all the damage. The food costs more, and the rent keeps going up, but the paycheck still stuck in 2015. This isn't the American dream. This is economic gaslighting. They sold us freedom, but delivered a treadmill.
I don't understand how anyone can be truly happy anymore. I don't. I'm sure that there's someone out there who's okay or happy with what they have. And I know there's a lot of people who are able to be happy and appreciate what they have, but I feel like what I'm asking for isn't a lot, and I can't even have it. And I don't know how I'm supposed to be happy with the fact that the average cost to raise 3 children per month is over $4,000. I don't even make $4,000 in a month. I have 1 child, and I don't get to happily have 2 more because of how expensive it is.
For generations, America has lived with the dangerous illusion that poverty, pain, and struggle had a color, that hardship belonged to black communities. White America was somehow protected by privilege, by system, and by default. But today, that illusion is cracking. The same system that once kept certain groups on top are now collapsing from within, and the suffering that was ignored has come knocking on new doors. So guys, welcome back to this channel. Thank you for coming. Let's be honest. Let me get your thoughts about this in the comment section. I'm just going to roll the clips, then I'll be coming back with more commentaries. In case of any thoughts, kindly feel free to let me know in the comment section. Stay tuned.
The average cost to raise 3 children per month is over $4,000. I don't even make $4,000 in a month. I have 1 child, and I don't get to happily have 2 more because of how expensive it is. I'm stuck with the piece of shit car that I have because the dealership I bought it from didn't tell me it was in an accident. And now it's reached 100,000 miles, so its value tanked, and I owe double what it's worth. I can't get a house because there's no houses available unless I want to live in some rundown shack for $1,000 a month. I'm lucky that I even got into an apartment. We had to wait 6 months to get to it, and spend well over 30% of our income on it. So I don't know how people can be happy. I don't make minimum wage. I make $19 an hour, and my husband makes more than that, and we still cannot get the things we want. We still could not afford to have even 1 more child. Like, this is... How are you people doing this and still able to put a smile on your face?
One of the things that the upper middle class and the wealthy don't understand is how expensive it is to be poor.
So I'm not really sure how I made it over to the white men crying on video about their finances side of TikTok. But I was over there for a little bit. And at first I was like laughing because it's like FAFO, right? Because like y'all voted for this and now it's affecting you. But then I started to think like these are normally the people that and so to see them online in this much disarray where they're on video crying in full tears about their finances and how mad they are. Y'all be safe out here.
What many people don't understand is that it's over for America. America has seen its best days. There used to be a time when the world looked up to America and thought America was the great example of what a country could be. But all the other countries are catching up. The American people are struggling. Our leadership sucks. The parties are whack. And every single day we're praying for inflation to go down. Unfortunately, everyone's pretending like things are okay. And that's the worst part about it.
Hey, we live in central Illinois. Our electric rates just went up 50%. My nephew has a ranch home that's probably 1,200 square feet, and his bill went from $260 to $560 in the last month. No difference in usage. The company just increased their rates 50%. So I'm curious if you have a similar home in a surrounding state, what you pay.
Yo, do y'all really think it's normal to be paying $2,500 a month plus for rent? Is that normal? Do you think it's normal to pay $300, $400, $500 on a car note? $100 on your phone bill? $150 on electricity? Like, that's not normal, yo. Do you know what you could do with that type of money in different places? The reason these prices are so high is because they know they can take advantage of us. It's that simple. And they know we're going to keep paying. I feel like we don't have the discipline to force these people's hand. Like, these prices are out of control. Like, it shouldn't be this expensive for literally basic necessities. Just because we are the richest country in the world and have the highest GDP doesn't mean we should be taken advantage of and squeezed for like every dime we got. That makes no sense to me. You know, things should cost what they cost. And a lot of that is, you know, the market, and, you know, we determine the market. So I believe we got to do better, man. It's only going to get worse, you know, the more we put up with and accept, you know, them hiking up these prices, because these companies just want to make money. Like, that's all they in it for, you know. So they'd be like, oh, all right, if something costs $50 and they, you know, take it up to 60 and we still buying, they're like, all right, bet. Let's take it up to 70. They'll take it up until we do something about it. And that's their strategy. Like, don't fall for it, man. Just pay them money for what things are really worth. And if you can't find a reasonable price, don't buy it. Don't buy it. If most people did that, the economy would be a ton better.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car, and I can't, because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription. Everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money, and yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me, and they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes, and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor, and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable. Regardless of your party, we have got to help each other.
I was talking about how the American middle class really started to shrink once the civil rights movement was passed and white people stopped supporting social programs because black people had access to them. And I get a lot of comments like this wondering exactly what went away. So I wanted to go into that a little bit. For starters, it's important to know that the idea most people have of American culture today didn't exist for the first half of the 20th century, and the United States government actually spent a lot of money on a process called Americanization, where they built exclusive white neighborhoods so that white people could feel a sense of national pride about the good schools, parks, and pools inside of them. During this time, most states also created a system of public universities and colleges that had free or reduced tuition, so students only had to pay for their housing and books. And of course, these programs were extremely popular with the new white middle class until civil rights started to make major progress in the 1950s and 60s, at which point you see support for public goods start to disappear. In her book, The Sum of Us, the author Rachel McGee describes this concept as drain pool politics, because in the center of a lot of these communities was a massive glimmering pool that stood as a testament to what the American government could do for its people. And rather than integrate when the government said that segregation was no longer legal, a lot of these communities chose to fill their pools with bleach, acid, or just drain them and top them off with concrete so that they didn't have to share with black people. And this shows perfectly on the personal or even community scale how white people have historically shot themselves in the foot to stop other people from taking advantage of benefits they already have, but it happens on the nationwide level too, which is why the Republican dog whistle about the welfare queen myth has been so popular and why a white majority hasn't voted for a Democratic candidate for president in decades. And a lot of the blame gets laid at the feet of individuals like Reagan and Nixon, but it's important to remember that Republican policies are popular with white voters, and Heather McGee sums it up really well when she says that public goods are only popular when the public is viewed as good. So as soon as black people got a seat at the table, white support for public programs really started to dip, and we've been on that trajectory ever since.
Oh yeah, guys, as we continue watching, what are we talking about in this video? We are diving deep into how poverty and suffering was once viewed by many as issues only affecting black communities. They are now spreading into white America. It's a raw, honest look at privilege, economic collapse, and the reality that struggle knows no color. So guys, let's continue watching to understand the shift, the history, and what it means for the future. Let's get into the remaining clips. I'll be back with more commentaries.
I don't know if y'all saw that article where it talked about over 70,000 evictions have been filed in Atlanta, Georgia from this year, January, up until like now. And it just, one, made me grateful that I'm here surviving, but two, it also made me realize like a lot of people are struggling behind closed doors, and it's just rough for everybody. Everybody's penny pinching, everybody's, denying themselves certain luxuries. Like, it's really, really hard out here, and who knows when it's gonna get better. I was talking to my friend and I was like asking her what she thought about it because she did leasing, and she was saying like there really does need to be some rental control here in Atlanta just alone, where it's just like a 1-bedroom 600 square feet, it's costing like $1,900, and people are being forced to pay it, and your safety is being questioned because it's just like, if I do take the whatever is the cheaper apartments now, which the cheaper apartments, shit, they ain't too cheaper priced than the luxury apartments. So it just made me realize like, damn, like we're really living in some harsh times, and it sucks to be an adult around this time because it's like, damn, like you can't do anything out here. You can't find a car, can't find a decent job, you can't pay your wages. It's just like, it's always something. So it's hard to stay positive when people are going through rough times like this, because I'm like, damn, if it's 72,000 evictions that's been happening since the beginning of this year, where are people gonna go? Atlanta is only about this big, so where are people going to relocate to? Your credit is fucked up. Like, it's so sad, and maybe because of the weather, and I heard that, like, I'm just feeling very darkish and grayish today, even though I want to be in a happy mood. But it just made me realize, like, I'm very thankful that I'm able to afford my lifestyle and everything that comes with it. I can't think of anything that I would want to get rid of to save me some money. And it's like, okay, if I get rid of my Netflix subscription, I'm saving what, $12 a month? It just wouldn't make any sense. So I don't know, I want to really say a quick prayer for like those people that are going through those rough times and being evicted, and people lack empathy. Everybody thinks like, oh yeah, people just weren't paying their rent and buying Nike shoes. Everybody's situation wasn't like that. When you're in the hole, you'd be surprised how quickly you can become 1 month, 2 months, 3 months behind. Then you have credit cards, student loan debt. Like, it's so much. Now student loans are about to resume. Like, it's like, what do you want people to do?
Leaders, you have 6 years to get your together financially. By 2030, there is going to be the very wealthy and the working class. There isn't going to be a middle class. And if you look throughout history, there was rarely a middle class. There was always the ultra rich and the working class. Like it or not, you are going to watch AI evolve so rapidly over the next 6 years that it's going to replace a lot of people's jobs. So you really have two options. You're either going to be an early investor in these technologies shaping the new infrastructure of our economy, or you're going to be a late adopter and consumer of them. Leaders, this is my weekly warning, and I do at least one of these videos a week to hopefully reach the people who are ready to stop messing with their future and take control of their financial destiny. Because guys, it's not going to get easier from here. I hate to say this, but the truth is a lot of people are going to get really wrecked. We're seeing systematically the middle class being wiped out. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what's happening in our economy. And it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But here's the thing. In these turbulent times, rich people get richer, poor people get poorer. There's a reason for that. Success leaves clues. So, leaders, from my heart to yours, get your together. Okay, if you want to join our free investors group, we focus on digital assets like cryptocurrencies, but we talk about all sorts of investing. Okay, you're either going to be an owner and investor of the future, or you're going to be a consumer of it and adopter of it. So choose wisely for you and your family. Comment crypto.
So guys, let's be honest. For decades, the face of poverty in America was painted black. The media, the politicians, even the charities all sold the same picture. A struggling black family, a broken neighborhood, a community in crisis. Meanwhile, the white poverty was barely spoken of, not because it did not exist, but because it didn't fit the narrative. As long as the system had someone else to blame, white America could look away, believing poverty was a result of laziness, crime, or bad culture. But what happens when those same forces, corporate greed, job outsourcing, and government neglect start eating away at white towns too? Yes. So today, from rural Appalachia to the Rust Belt, the story has changed. Factories have closed. Healthcare costs are crushing families. The opioid crisis has wiped out entire generations, and suddenly people who once said just work harder are realizing the system was never built for them either. Guys, let's talk about the social reflection, empathetic. Let's talk about this social reflection. This is not about pointing fingers. It's about understanding that poverty does not discriminate, but systems of power do. Yes, black Americans have known this struggle for centuries, the pain of being blamed for your own suffering. Now, as white communities feel that same sting, maybe, just maybe, there is an opportunity for empathy, for unity, and also an opportunity for truth. When the poor white Americans cry out for help, suddenly poverty becomes a national crisis. But when poor black Americans did the same, they were told to pull up themselves up by their bootstraps. Yes, by their bootstraps. That hypocrisy exposes the truth. Poverty is not new. What's new is who it's happening to, and that should make us question everything: who we blame, who we ignore, and who profits from our division. Yes, so guys, the struggle is real and it's shared. Poverty is not a race issue, it's a system issue, and until we stop fighting each other and start fighting the structures that keep us all down, nothing will change. The pain that was once invisible is now impossible to ignore. Maybe that's the beginning of something real. Maybe it's the wake-up call America needed. Yeah, guys, when we realized the system was never broken, it was built this way. That's when real change begins. And we have seen it all. The speakers of this video have said it all. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of the video. And this video is meant for educational purposes, commentary purposes as well. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly give this video a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so that you don't miss more talks on this, and also share this video for it to get to a wider audience. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Peace be with you. Until next time, guys.